here is the list. We've got these 5 potential main events. So I want to talk through all of them. So number 1, that's what most people seem to say, hey, this is what we think is going to happen. Dricus versus Israel. I think I made a pretty compelling case though yesterday, right? Or Friday for Dricus rematch versus Sean Strickland, right?
Strickland, yes.
Yeah. But that seems to be the front runner, at least up behind the scenes. And then we still have Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler in the mix, which you were just talking about a second ago. I feel like it's gonna be Conor. I still think that's what's gonna happen. I think that his whole announcement of International Fight Week made 0 sense. His movie comes out like a month before the card. I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
I mean, it's probably going to happen, and I'm going to watch it, and you're going to watch it, and everyone's going to watch it. I just don't think it's deserving. I mean, if you talk
Yeah.
about pay-per-view numbers and popularity, it's a deserving fight. But like again, man, it's like you're talking about UFC 300. You're talking about one of the biggest events in the company's history, and to headline a guy that's lost like 4 or 5 fights in a row. I mean, again, as a popularity contest, obviously Conor McGregor is one of the most popular UFC fighters of all time, and he always will be. But again, like I don't know, man. And he's done enough in the sport, I guess, for his clout and this and that. But again, this guy's lost 5 fights in a row. What I would have liked to see the UFC do is bring him in early, get him a tune-up fight somebody. Fuck, I saw a joke that it was like Dennis Seaver versus Conor McGregor too. Like just
Right.
anything to get him a win, get back in the win column, and then he can have an argument for this, and everyone will be like, oh well. It was a shitty opponent. It was a tune-up fight. It doesn't matter. He got back in the win column. And right now he just hasn't. He's coming off his. Has he fought since his leg break?
No. No, he is not.
I mean, so who knows how he's going to perform? Is he going to be more hesitant? It's. Yeah, I mean, it just might be. He might get blown out by Chandler. Chandler might put in an incredible pace on him and then finish him. Now he's lost 6 fights in a row, and then what? Then what good is Conor McGregor anymore? I will tune in to watch it. I wouldn't be thrilled to have him at the main event, and I don't think a lot of people would be. I think a lot of Fairweather fans would love this matchup, but as a fighter, as a guy that's been a part of the business, I just don't think he's earned his stripes for this fight.
Okay, I agree. I actually agree with you. I do want to see him. I am a big Conor McGregor fan still, regardless of everything you said is totally factual. But he's not the fighter that I want to see the most. I think it would be cool just to see him come back because I love everything he brings to the table. I love his interviews leading up to the fight. He's inspirational. He's controversial. He's exciting. He's funny on the mic. So I love all of the buildup that he brings. But I do agree with you. The fight that's most exciting to me is a Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis rematch, which didn't make this list, but I still feel like that's in the cards. I feel like that's why nothing was announced last week. When it comes to the rest of these fights, like Pereira versus Israel Adesanya 3, Leon versus Bilal, I don't know if that Conor versus Nate Diaz is even a realistic possibility. But of the ones that are listed up here, what do you want to see most?
I'm looking at this list. I mean, I want to see them all inevitably, but man, like I am putting UFC 300 on a pedestal. Like Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz 3. I mean, that's a fight night main event. Not a fight night, but that's like I mean, I don't want to say a fight night, but I mean, it's not a UFC 300 main event. Leon Edwards versus Bilal, that's a fight night fight. Alex Pereira versus Adesanya 3, I don't think it's going to happen because Pereira's going up a weight class. Scratch that one off. Conor McGregor, yeah, I want to see that fight, but not at UFC 300. Dricus versus Adesanya, again, not a fight that I care to see at 300. Like you're saying, I'd rather see Dricus and Strickland, man. I'd rather
Yeah,
see Leon Edwards versus, what's his name?
Islam.
Islam Makhachev. Like
Yeah,
that would be an incredible fight, man. And I'm not going to count that one out because we're talking about, again, the number one pound for pound fighter. I really want UFC 300 to entail a monumental chance of something, history being broke. We're talking about the number one pound for pound fighter going up and fighting Leon Edwards, who's smoking hot right now, who just
yeah,
beat Colby Covington, who on paper is a better wrestler than Islam. And now he's going to have to, the smaller guy really determining that he is the number one pound for pound fighter. Volkanovski did it. Why can't Islam do it? Send Islam up to 170, make it the main event, and I think that would just be an incredible fight. I don't think that'll happen before Bilal gets his shot, but that's the fight I want to see. Honestly, none of these
I
fights on
like it.
this list really jump out at me. There's like, oh, that's the one I want to see on 300. All of them I want to see eventually, inevitably, but I don't want to see him on 300.
Fair
or
point.
main eventing 300, I should
Main
say.
event. Okay. Yeah, fair point. How wild would it be if they did some crazy thing and actually got Connor to come back with Khabib? Oh my God, some
Oh my
insane
God.
thing.
Okay, now that's something I could get behind just because how
Yeah.
crazy it would be. But I'll be honest, I don't think
Yeah.
Habib would put himself in that situation where this
Mm-mm.
guy's a straight shooter. He doesn't like the trash talk. He doesn't like his family being talked about. He doesn't like his religion being talked about. He doesn't like, his manager being talked about. I don't think there's any chance in hell that Habib would fight Conor again just to put him through that emotional trauma that he just doesn't care to be. He's a sportsman. He shows out. He wants to, be polite. He wants to be humble, and he just definitely doesn't like it. I mean, he stamped Conor McGregor anyways, man. I don't think Conor has anything for him. I think it'd be the same fight anyways. But as a fan, I would love to see that fight.
Yeah, for sure. Just throwing us out there, Western Mass Climber. We appreciate your comments as always. He did throw out there he disagrees with you, and he thinks that would be a great main event, a way to end the era. I mean, I can see that actually being a way to end the era, but like I think where Justin's coming from, because I kind of feel the same way, is for the main event. I'd love to see something bigger on the line. It feels like there's such big stars and it'd be cool. It just feels like
Yes.
what's on the line. I don't know, and so that takes a little bit away from it. That's, but we appreciate your feedback, and that's a cool take.